Corbin, tell me your name again, how you spell it, and who you're with.
Yes, sir. Corbin, Corbin, Cowles, Cowles. My family owns and operates an operation called Pleasant Hill Farms in Rockville, Kentucky. I work for the American Hereford Association, as well as hold my auctioneering and real estate licenses as well. So I don't have much going on, you know it.
I know what you mean.
Yes, sir.
I've got a few of those things too.
Yes, sir.
Corbin, you judge cattle shows around the country. You're
That's correct.
certainly familiar with the Hereford Association.
Yes, sir.
What did you see here today at the Flach Memorial Show?
I thought the young people did, first and foremost, a phenomenal job. I thought their attitudes were awesome, and they were really a pleasure to work with. My top 5 in the female show was really outstanding quality, I thought. I had a couple Simmental heifers in there, Charolais influenced heifer, Hereford female, and a commercial heifer were in the top 5. So I thought they all represented cattle that I think were just straight up functional. Of course, in the show ring, we like them to really be pretty and balance up. But I thought there were cattle with some real muscle. They were cattle with some width. They had some performance, and their structure was good. And yeah, they were just cattle that I thought would fit today's times.
There really wasn't anything in the ring that didn't belong here.
Correct, absolutely. All the cattle had a place and a function to them, no doubt about it.
Now you've got a lot of different kids here too.
Yes, sir.
And they did a pretty good job.
They did.
There weren't very many animals that got away from anybody.
No, they've done a phenomenal job with their showmanship abilities. These young people today put in a lot of effort and time, as they normally always have. I mean, I remember my sisters and I showing, and it takes a lot of hours in that barn and working with your animals to become masters at the craft. But I thought these young people did a really good job today.
I had visited with a fellow here who 85 years ago showed his first calf.
Wow.
And he talked about the performance of that animal.
Yep.
A lot different than what it is today.
Sure.
How have things in your period of time, which isn't long as his was,
right?
But in your period of time, how cattle changed?
Yeah, right. I would say right before I really got involved with exhibiting, but also particularly judging, the cattle frame sizes were bigger. And so I think we've moderated some frame and brought them back to a medium size, but really have put emphasis on rib shape, put emphasis on structural correctness and muscle. And I thought that's what I really appreciate and like to see in the show ring, is cattle that have all those things that can translate to the everyday parts of the beef cattle industry. And so I thought it's been nice to see where we're at on mature size, and how much these things need to weigh, and what frame they need to be, as well as how much rib shape and muscle they have.
Are there certain trends in the performance of an animal that are going one way or the other that you either like or don't like?
That's an interesting question. I think depending on bloodlines and pedigrees, you can get cattle that kind of go one way or the other, whether that's extra frame but maybe not as much width, more moderate that are very wide and square and everything. Me personally, I like kind of a medium blend. I like them to be kind of moderate or sensible in their frame size, is the term I use when I judge. It's probably between a 5 and a 7 on the frame score, and have just an ample amount of rib shape and capacity and muscle. That translates in our program to be good functional cattle. So to answer your question, I think some trends go one way or the other, but I think there's a happy medium to be found.
We're seeing a lot of challenges in the beef industry. Well, for a lot of different reasons,
right.
Economic ones, and prices have gone up.
Right.
And some people have shied away from going to the meat market. Do you have some confidence that things are going to get straightened out in the near future?
Well, on a grand scale of things in the industry, our cow herd numbers are down, but our steer weights that we're killing or harvesting at the facilities are heavier than they've been. So I think we're doing more with less number of total head, but we're trying to maximize the amount we can return out of those for usable red meat product to feed people. So I think producers are doing their hardest or trying their hardest and doing their best to be there to get that in check in terms of providing enough red meat for the population. So
Cow-calf producers have done okay.
Yes, sir.
Other aspects haven't done quite as well.
Sure, the cow-calf side is seeing probably its highest demand right now for replacement cattle simply because of those inventory numbers. It seems to be that's the case. So, yeah, I mean, if you've got the asset, they're at an all-time peak in terms of their valuation. So it is a good time to be in the cow-calf business.
And it's probably a good time to be in the beef business at any time.
Period. Absolutely. Absolutely. Our family actually is in the process of starting up our own retail meat store there near our home place or on our home farm, but servicing a large population right there within probably 50, 60 miles of where we're at. So we have high demand for, farm fresh beef right off of our operation. And that's not really just a fad. That's a trend that's sticking. So it is a good time to be involved in all sides of the beef business. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks to Corbin Cowles, who is judging the Flach Memorial Day show here at the Macon County Fairgrounds. I'm Stu Ellis.